So,
Yo,
what is it about house music that you love so much?
what I love about house music, it's a soul thing. It's a spiritual thing. When I hear a great house music song, when it catches me, I forget about everything. I forget about all my pain, all my sorrows. I'm living in that moment, and I'm dancing, and I'm flying almost. Putting you in almost like a euphoria. That's what it does for me.
What's up, everybody? This is Indeed, channel like today, saying like Bob Dylan. Keep on noticing dope stuff. And like 2 years ago, no, the first year of my podcast, I would say, I had a few people on there. Both of my sisters on, Tatisha and Jackie, and I've always been trying to get my brother on because I just felt like he would be it's my brother, and he's an interesting person. He loves music, and I finally got him on the show today. So I want to welcome Martimer, Bryant Jr. to the podcast. What's going on, brothers?
What's going on? What's
Love you.
going on? What's going on, my brother?
Not much, man. Just it's a nice day outside. I just got finished running actually. But how you feeling today?
I'm feeling extraordinary.
Good, good. So with my podcast, I always like to start off with the childhood and like going back and things like that. So what are some of your, you're born in Jersey like me, born in Newark. So what are some of your pleasant memories, and you're a little bit older than me. So what are some of your memories growing up in Jersey?
I'm 10 years older than you, to be honest with you.
Okay.
10
So, what are some of your pleasant memories growing up in New Jersey? Like for me, like when it's there were like moving from Jersey to North Carolina. Some of the big differences for me was like in the summertime, there were no ice cream trucks. There were no Hostess snacks in
mm,
schools. There was like no melting pot of students. There was just black, white, and there was a lot of self segregation.
mm.
But Jersey, that I just remember Jersey just being like, especially in the 80s at the launch of MTV, there was a lot of music going on. There was like, like I said, going outside, playing all the time. What are some of your pleasant memories of growing up in Jersey?
If you want to take it back, I could take it back. Oh my God, all the way till when I was like a toddler. I have a great memory. I can remember like actually going to pick up mom. Like mom used to work at um it was called
Head
Hearts.
Start?
No, this is way back. This is like when I was like 3 or 4.
Oh God, you
And
remember that?
yeah, it was on Grove Street. And
Okay.
how dad used to, because in dad worked for General Motors, but at the time they had a layoff,
Okay.
and there would be lots of layoffs at General Motors. But this particular time, mommy was working at uh, um, a place called Hearts, where they made um, animal supplies like toys and like brushes and stuff like that. She would bring home like animal brushes. We would brush our hair with it. You know what I mean? Kind of awkward,
Yeah.
but still, it was a brush, but it was really made for a dog. But anyway, um, I remember she would save us parts of her sandwich, like from her lunch. There would be like like Italian sandwiches, like it would be just a half or a quarter of a half or half of a half, excuse me. And me and Jackie would share it, and but that would be the best sandwich. It was like it was so delicious. I just remember looking because she would do that purposely for us. Say we're like save us a half of a sandwich, and we would look forward to that. And I remember to the grocery store and getting this cereal called King Crunch or something like that.
King
It was
Vitamin?
King Vitamin, right? And
Okay.
it was good. Yeah, it was delicious back in the day. And I also remember um, going to New York to grandma's house, going through the Holland Tunnel,
Yeah, yeah,
uh, going up Atlantic Avenue, going down uh, Albany to St. John, where the apartment building / brownstone, whatever you want to call it, where it sat, and going up those loud, creaky stairs at the time. They were so loud and creaky and creepy. And then,
yeah,
but when you made it upstairs to the fifth floor, you just got greeted with music and faces, because there was Aunt Bet living with the grandma, Aunt Paige living with grandma. She had her daughters living there, and their friends would be there sometimes.
right.
And this was like in the '70s, and they were like afros and
Yeah,
silk shirts and things of that nature. Everybody was stylish because we're in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And I'm little, at the time, and I remember them being so tall because I was so little, and they were like giants to me. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, I could go to my teenage years when we moved to Orange. No, we moved to Orange while I was, oh, good. When did we move to Orange? You weren't on the scene yet.
I
To
wasn't yet.
Orange, okay. It was like we were renting. We were renting um, a first floor on Grove Terrace. I mean, it was in a house, but we were renters. You know what I'm saying? Daddy allowed us to. He provided a home for us. We were moving from renters to actually owning a home. That was on one,
Hmm.
and I just remember me being so proud because it was our house. It was our
Right.
backyard, our basement. You know what I'm saying? It was a blessing that Daddy was able to do that for us. And at the time, I had my own room. Um, and stuff. It was like
Till I
it was.
came to the scene.
You came on the scene, but but nonetheless, you know what I'm saying. I really enjoyed my childhood. You know what I'm saying. Um, the neighbors were neighbors back then. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Everybody spoke. Everybody looked out for one another. You know what I'm saying? If someone saw me cutting up, oh my goodness, yeah, daddy would hear about it, or mommy would hear about it. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
they would, stay off my lawn and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because we were all over the place. We was straight out of Newark. You know what I'm saying? We ain't know any boundaries. We were kids. But
So wait a
nonetheless,
minute. So Grove Terrace was in Newark?
um, it was not Grove Terrace. It was Grove Street. Yeah,
Grove
Grove
Street.
Street was in Newark. That was in Newark. But there
Oh
was a place.
wow.
There was another place we stayed at, but I can't recall that. It was actually an apartment building, but that's beyond my memory. I was
That's
I was a
interesting.
baby. Mm-hmm.
So how long I don't believe I don't even know this stuff. So how long did y'all stay at Grove Terrace and then move to how old were
Grove
you? Like
Street.
what did,
I think Jackie might be able to help, but if I'm not mistaken, I couldn't have been no more than when we left. Um, when we left Grove Street, goodness, I couldn't have been no more than 5 or 6, maybe 8, maybe 5, 6, somewhere like, around there. Maybe that's a maybe. I was young, you
okay.
know.
Because I didn't even think about it like that. Like you said, when you move from there to Orange in that specific neighborhood, it was a really nice neighborhood. So you kind of had to change it up a little bit as far as like things you used to do. I mean, not like you were a troublesome child. I'm just you had to change
Right.
it up a little bit.
But don't get me wrong. Grove Street was a nice street as well. It had
Okay.
nice homes and what have you. But we were still renting. You know what I mean? We were like, we were still renting, and we it was tight, but it was comfortable, if you know what I mean.
Mm, okay.
But when we moved to Orange, New Jersey, it it was a big house. It had um big living room, a big dining room. Had a sun porch,
Sunroom, yeah,
sunroom. You know, it had only one bathroom, but we had a
yeah.
big backyard. And I remember um, I'm jumping around, but I remember Daddy and his daddy helped build like a
Take
driving deck,
okay.
like you know, and Daddy built a retaining wall around the front of the house. Daddy and Mom built it's like a cement retaining wall. I mean, Daddy has he has some skills, you know. And
Cause
then,
he, I'm
hmm
sorry, cause he and I was just thinking about this today. Like their bedroom, that was an attic at one time,
that was
right?
added, right?
Okay, and
That was,
he converted those steps and made that a room for him and
well,
mom.
he didn't. The steps were there. What he did was there was a wall. There was a wall that was that basically that hid the steps. He took that wall down to where you could actually. It had he put a railing up. He took part of the wall down. I helped him out because I had to do some sheetrocking and some mudding, you know, and a lot of hammering, a lot of hauling away sheetrock and plaster, and oh my goodness, yeah. I,
Yeah.
Daddy made sure he made sure I was there on the in the mix. You know what I'm saying? But what he taught me is how to be a man, basically. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and my version of a man. You know, like as far as someone that's handy and not afraid to get his hands dirty. That's what Daddy taught me.
Now that's the lead to the next question. So, like, what are some of the core values you got from mom and dad?
Basically, family is truly important. Um, Daddy taught me how to be a great provider. You know, um, mommy she showed me how to be as far as to be passionate, not passionate, to be compassionate. You know, uh, and to be loving. You know,
Okay.
um, so
Describe each of us, the siblings, in a few words.
okay. You got you got my brother Emmanuel. Yeah, you got Emmanuel. He's never you never see him upset for the most part. You know what I'm saying? He's always in a good mood. He brings a lot of light and energy, good energy to a situation. He always has this little um, quirky comments. You know what I'm saying? He's a visionary. You know, in terms of like he sees the glass always half full. You know, instead of half empty. You know,
Oh, thank you.
and he never meets a stranger. You know what I'm saying? If you ask someone, oh, about Emmanuel, oh yeah, he's a great guy. I mean, he's funny. He's that. You know what I'm saying? No one has anything ill to say about him. You know what I mean? So, and he's my little brother, and it's something I wouldn't do for
Oh, thank you. All
him.
right,
Yeah, love you too.
Jackie.
Oh man, Jackie's like my right hand man. I've been knowing Jackie since I was born. Yeah, she's older than me. So, she's always been like a sister slash mom to me. You know what I'm saying? Because when my parents separated, it was just Jackie and I. Um,
Yeah.
but that didn't happen until like I was like coming out of high school. But still, in all, she was like she's been on my ride or die for a long time. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can remember.
All right.
And she's dependable. She's loving, and she makes a pretty good pig cake, whatever
Was it?
that
You
cake.
said a pig cake?
Is that a pig cake? Pig picking cake? I don't know. With a pineapple and whipped
Pineapple.
cream.
Yeah. I'm about to say you
Yeah.
teaching me something new. And
Yeah,
I heard that before. I heard of a pig cake. I just never knew what it was. Well,
Jackie makes it.
Tortisha.
Tatisha. Tatisha's turned into the like the rock of the family, so to speak. she's my baby sister, but you know, her as far as you could go to Letitia because she raised three beautiful young men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And she's wise beyond her years. You know, and she's very nurturing. She puts you in the mind of mommy. You know what I'm saying? Very artsy, crafty. You know, and yeah, she was like I said, she's like the rock of the family. You know, and she don't even realize it. I don't think, but
nah,
you know, we all play very important roles in this family. You know, and it's not to be taken lightly. You know what I'm saying? The roles that we play. Because
yeah,
without each individual, you know, something would be drastically missing.
yeah, for sure. Now, I wanted to talk about music real quick because I remember it's funny what you remember and what you keep in your memories and you don't forget. I remember this is in New Jersey and you I think dad either got a new refrigerator or a new appliance or whatever. I don't know what it was. But you took the cardboard and you broke it down and you taking it out to the street. I'm like, what's he doing with that? And then like I think Talamo and those guys, you guys are using it to do breakdancing moves. And I was like, what is that? You know, I mean, I was it was a new thing, you know what I mean? And so like around that time, especially in the 80s, there was a lot going on music wise, you know what I'm saying, to shape us as people. Michael Jackson moonwalk for the first time on the Motown anniversary special. Remember seeing that. Prince was out, you know, hip hop was kind of finding its identity. Um, and I wanted to know, like, what is, I remember, like, you had an extensive record collection. Like, I remember seeing, like, what's the name of that album with the colorful cornucopia thing? Was that Earth, Wind, and Fire? It was a blue album and it had like this colorful cornucopia, that kind of circular thing.
That was Sugar Hill.
Sugar Hill. Yeah. I remember all those albums that you used to have. So like music plays an important part of your life. Like how did music shape you, especially growing up in that time? And what are some
Well,
of your favorite artists?
okay, well, music was like an escape for me. I remember hearing like um, Michael Jackson off the wall album. If you hear certain music, it can transcend. It can take you back to a
Right.
moment in time. You know, I remember hearing we had a neighbor named Sandy Reed, and her brother used to come by. He had a loud sound system in his car, and I remember he had "The More You Give, the More I Want," something like that. It was a Teddy Pendergrass joint. It was hot, and he had that thing blaring. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember a young lady, um, a, a, um, a lower artist. I'm not saying I'm probably jacking her name up, but she stayed downstairs with her. She had family downstairs in the first floor, and she had Michael Jackson off the wall, and she used to play that, and I used to hear it, and I'm like, man, one day I'm gonna own that album. I was young. I was young. Yeah. But in terms of certain music will definitely transcend you, take you back to that moment. You know what I'm saying? When I hear like um, Bobby Womack, Daddy used to love Bobby Womack, and he loved Sam Cooke. So
I
whenever
know.
I hear like a Bobby Womack or a Sam Cooke album or record or whatever, yep, that's what it is. Yep,
Yep.
yep. So whenever I
It's
hear Sam Cooke or Bobby Womack, I'm listening. I'm thinking about Dad. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
yeah, music plays a significant background. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful
But
thing.
what was that song for you that stopped you in your tracks? Like you said, there were I mean, like there's music playing around the house, there's music in the neighborhood, But what was that one thing that kind of stopped you in your tracks? You were like, whoa. Like for me, and I said this in a previous interview when because I'm you know me, when I was a kid, I was always playing with my toys. And it took a lot for me to get away from that. But like on the television, the Greatest American Hero came on, and that theme song just stopped me. I
Believe
was
it or not.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was like I was like, wow, what is? I mean, 'cause, like I felt it. You know what I mean? I felt it. I felt that emotional tie to that music. So, what was it for you?
Well, for me, to be believe it or not, it was the courtship of Eddie's father. That song used to like make me happy when I heard it. You know what I'm
What
saying?
the courtship of Eddie?
Uh,
What is that?
the courtship of Eddie's father was um, Bill. Okay, the gentleman that played in Incredible Hulk. What was his name?
Oh, Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby. He had a
Hmm.
TV show back in the day called The Courtship of Eddie's Father. It was about a father and his son. His dad was like a weekend dad, and they would spend time together, and they would have um, certain um, during the show they would have certain like events that would play out. But the theme song was touching to me. I just let me tell you a story about my best friend. You know,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Well, there's a show called Robin Big, and they kind of did a rendition of that.
they did, they did,
Hmm.
they did, they did.
Okay. All
So
right.
in terms
I didn't
of
know.
that,
I thought honestly, I thought it was original in a way, but it
not
wasn't.
at all, not at
Okay.
all. It was definitely stolen.
All right. You have a specific love for a lot of music. You have a very eclectic taste in music, but it was something about house music that really gravitated you towards house music to this day. So,
Yo,
what is it about house music that you love so much?
what I love about house music, it's a soul thing. It's a spiritual thing. I I'm 57 years young, and I can still go out there and hit pirouettes, and I can I can kick out my leg, I can stomp, I can move very gracefully, you know, despite me having bad knees. But in terms of when I hear a great house music song, when it catches me, I forget about everything. I forget about all my pain, all my sorrows. I'm living in that moment and I'm dancing and I'm flying almost, you know. Um yeah, it has a way of putting you in almost like a euphoria. That's what it does for me, you know. And yeah, I've been grooving to it since I was like, in my teen, and it hasn't stopped yet. I found the tribe of people that love it just as much as I do in Charlotte, and yeah, I kind of like still like do my thing. It keeps me young.
So, who are some of your favorite house artists?
Josh Milan, Louis Vega, in Charlotte. You got brother Charles Gatlin and Steve Howden, and those are two DJs that I could call friends. You know, I got my man Andrew Holden. He's one of the he's a real good friend. He's like a brother. He's a awesome house DJ. You feel me? Um, you got Jahad Muhammad. You know, you got just the DJ. You know what I'm saying? He's a newbie. He's a new on the scene, but he's representing to the fullest. You know, Brother Beloved, he's a good DJ. He's a great DJ. You could go on and on and on as far as like house DJs and producers and what have you. When you meet a house head, it's nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah. Now I'm
Well,
a house.
I always like thought because you love music in general, but specifically house music, that you would want to do the DJing thing. Has that ever been a dream of yours, or no? Or you rather
Yeah,
just
I
dance?
just I mean life is still being lived. So I I love the dance more so. I love the DJ aspect of it. I could do the DJ thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of music, you know what I'm saying? And I might do it, you know what I'm saying? Time is still being timed. It's still ticking. So, something
Yeah,
I might do on the side,
I don't see
but,
why not. You could be a dancing DJ.
for real, what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They say DJs that dance make the best DJ.
What are some of your favorite movies? And I know one of them is The Jerk. So what are some of your other favorite movies?
Oh man, I wouldn't even said the jerk, but in terms of
Really?
like because I was a kid when I saw the jerk. But in terms of what movie did I see that made me like think like just kind of like just blew me off my rocker? I would say Pulp Fiction, Pulp
Okay.
Fiction, The Matrix, um,
Five Heartbeats.
Five Heartbeats. That's a good family movie. Too that The Wiz. The Wiz was it had a lot of hidden messages in it, and what have you. Um, so I think every kid, black child should see The Wiz. And The Color Purple. You know what I'm saying? Whoopi. You know what I'm saying? The one with Whoopi. Yeah.
Right.
And what's your
Well,
favorite movie?
so my top five is in no particular order. It's Ghostbusters, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, this movie called Sideways with Paul Giamatti and Thomas Hayden Church,
Mm.
and Back to the Future, and I'm missing one. Goonies. Those are my
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
That's
Um,
what's
my parents got divorced, and Tatisha and I moved to North Carolina, which was which was hard to deal with, you know. But when and but I never really asked your perspective of it. I know I asked Jackie's. So when that was going on, what did you do to kind of keep your mind off of that situation?
mm. I just I did I that's what did I do? I just lived and navigated through the new normal, you know. Um I still like I tried to be there for y'all as much as I could, because it was rough on mom, she was just trying to live her life to the best of her ability, you know what I'm saying? Um and be a mother to y'all and and it was a quick grow up. You had to just I was just coming out of high school, so it was like had to grow up quick, couldn't be a kid anymore per se, you know. But what they say what don't kill you will make you stronger, and it definitely made me stronger. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
yeah.
I like some of my it was like I said, it was hard to deal with for for me, but also but one of the cooler things to come out of it, I would say, was like I would like when you guys would visit, that made me very happy when you guys would visit. Also, when I
But you're talking about like we were like 10 hours away. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So we were all the way in New Jersey, and you guys were in Wilson, North Carolina.
yeah.
So it was like yeah. So I don't know. Whenever I would go shopping, I would try and always pick up something for my little brother, and send it to you. Pick up something for my little sister and send it to her. You know what I mean? Because I know y'all were going through high school and stuff like that, and I just wanted y'all to be fly with it.
That's another benefit. Is like I remember like getting so many compliments on my shoes because like a lot of those shoes, specifically Nikes, weren't even there in North Carolina yet. They're like, where you get those? I'm like, got them from Jersey. Your brother hooked me up. You know what I mean? It's clothes too. Like I specifically remember cross colors. When
Mm.
cross colors hit the scene, they none of that stuff was in North Carolina, and I was like, I felt like I was one of the first people to have a cross color shirt in school, and people were like, oh my god, I'm like, yeah, that's right. Or I didn't even realize like I'll never forget this. We got some boots. You got me some boots one year. You asked me to pick them out, and I said I want those, and they were travel foxes. And at the time, I didn't know what travel fox was. It just they did the boots look great, and you got me those boots. Or even like I had some Bo Jacksons. I didn't know they were Bo Jacksons,
Yeah.
but I got some Bo Jacksons one year, and man, kids were like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "Yeah, man, they're cool." Um, but also a cool thing was like when we moved, back in the day, the talk on the phone is not like how it is now. We had landlines and it was long distance fees and all this other stuff. And then I would call you
Mhm.
sometime and you would be like, "Yeah, man, I ran into so and so," or you were like, "Oh man, you got to be on the lookout for this person. I saw this person sing at a." I never specifically. You were like, "Man, I went to a club. Man, there's this guy named Music." I'm like, yeah, man, he's gonna blow up, man. He was pretty great. And like a month later, Love came out. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, that's what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
like same thing with Maxwell.
Mhm.
Maxwell came out. You kind of I think you see him at a concert or something, and then like you were like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Then months later, Maxwell. So that was it was still heartbreaking to go through the whole divorce thing. And man, when you guys would visit and then like you would have to leave, I would bawl my eyes out because I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? It was just so sad. It was really hard. But I appreciate you, for those for everything, and I appreciate those moments, man. So I want to know if you could like one of my favorite movies is Back to the Future. And another favorite movie, I love the whole time travel thing.
Right.
All right. There's another movie called Frequency with Dennis Quaid and Jim Caviezel.
Mhm.
So I want to know if you could tell yourself, your younger self, anything, possibly can change your present.
Mm.
What would you tell you? What would you tell your younger self? And be very specific too. Like, I mean, is it you going to tell your 20-year-old self, or are you going to tell your 18-year-old self? What?
I would tell my 15-year-old self to not go in the basement with that girl. She's gonna take your virginity. To hold out longer. You know what I'm saying? And to stay more focused in school. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be all
Mm,
right. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be this age, or you're not gonna be in this time or forever. I wish I would have just stayed away from girls because they
okay.
were they were definitely a distraction for me. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I would just tell myself just that you're beautiful, you're handsome. You know what I'm saying? You're a good dude. You know what I'm saying? I had low self esteem, for a long time. You know what I mean? And yeah, I would just tell myself that that you're amazing. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot to look forward to, stuff like that.
Anything else? Or
I can't think of anything. Yeah,
look, I'm gonna tell you. Let me tell you. I thought about this all the time. I think
all
about
right.
this stuff all the time. So I would tell my younger self, I like, look, I would be specific and I would tell myself when I was in my 20s, I would say a lot of the stuff you're saying, like the lift yourself up, but I'd be like, listen, there's this man named there's this man named Jeffrey Bezos. Be his
Mm,
friend.
what?
The winning lottery number on this day is blah 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 blah. And then
Oh
I'll be
yeah.
like, I listened to this podcast. Uh I forgot. I think it's Mayan Bialik's podcast, and Seth Green was on there, who's an actor and director and stuff like that. And he said something. I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful.
Hmm.
Um, he says, I would tell my younger self, your parents are people.
Mm.
Yes, don't set so many expectations for them. They're just people just like you are. You know what I mean? They make mistakes. They're entitled to make mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And get, when you can, get closure, with, talk to them more. Don't be afraid to ask questions and stuff. That I would tell my younger self that it's okay to be yourself. Um, all that stuff. You know, yeah,
definitely, definitely. You
yeah,
know, I mean, in your transforming years, when you're trying to figure things out and whatnot, it, it's hard to look beyond that sometimes. I mean, as a young person, it's hard to say, "Oh man, things are going to get better." You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Especially when things are so bad. Um, but once again, what doesn't kill us will definitely strengthen us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
yeah. Oh, how has being a dad changed your life?
Oh my God. It's giving me focus. It's giving me purpose. You know what I'm saying? My kids are like the air that pushes me, you know what I'm saying, to be better than I than I was. You know what I'm saying? To have like a strategy put in place to where life is good for them. You feel me? You
Mm,
know, um, fixing my credit to where I could get a house, where
right.
God blessed me with a house, giving them a backyard, giving them what daddy gave to us. You know what I'm saying? Moving to Rock Hill, South Carolina, where the cost of living was better to where I could raise a family for real. You feel me? Because I couldn't do it up in Jersey because it was just so daggone expensive. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But by the grace of God, we moved down here and life has been good. Hasn't you got your ups and downs or what have you. But I think that I know that my kids are awesome, awesome because of you know the sacrifices that me and their mother have made. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, they mean a lot to me. And I
yeah,
love being a dad. I wear that fatherhood like a badge of honor. Yeah, I'm a dad. I'm a father. What?
yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. They're awesome
I
kids.
love being an uncle. I love being an uncle because
Yes.
my uncles are my uncle. My nephews are amazing, and
Yeah.
I'm proud to be their uncle. Isaiah, Joshua, AJ. You feel me?
I
And
just talked to him today, and we had a good laugh.
I love being once again. I love being Xavier and Jalen's daddy. That's one
Yes.
thing. Okay, but okay. Next question.
I wanted to say something that really gave me a lot of comfort. I was listening to I listen to a lot of podcasts. And so I was listening to Mayan Bialik's podcast. He had DMC from Run DMC on there, right?
I met
And
that. I met that man. I met that brother at. I met that brother. He's a good guy. Hmm.
yeah, he is good. But he said something that gave me a lot of comfort. Now, Run DMC is like one of the founding acts of hip hop, right?
Hmm.
And I've never been heavy into hip hop. And as a black man, I felt always a sense of guilt because I wasn't heavy into hip hop. I love certain rap acts, but I was more in R&B and
Hmm.
pop and other things,
Same
Um,
here. I was never heavy into hip hop like that. Not rap like that. You know what I'm saying? Same here.
right.
Hmm.
But we're expected as black men to like we supposed to that's supposed to be our thing, right? But it's never been heavily my thing. But he said something in the interview that made me feel so much better about that. He said he grew up. A lot of the stuff he listened to, he wasn't really heavy into hip hop either. He listened to a lot of like the Carpenters and stuff like that. And even to this day, he still listens. He doesn't listen to a lot of modern hip hop. He listens to a lot of jazz and other things. I was like, wow. like one of the founding fathers of hip hop. He's not really heavily into hip hop, but he has an amazing story too, because he
Hmm.
was like adopted and he didn't find out he was adopted until much later in life.
Oh
It's
wow.
crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
that is amazing.
so I say all of that to say like it's okay to as people it's okay to like different things. And like when MTV first came about, and there's this song specifically that you liked, I ran so far away.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I said, oh, okay, that's cool that you didn't just, you know what I mean? It was so cool, and you have an extensive and eclectic range of music that you like that I respect. Like you like Bjork, you like Jamiroquai, you like, Prince, you like Michael, you like Shaka Khan, you like all this stuff. And it's like, okay, it's okay to like different things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're doing yourself a great disjustice, just to say I only like this, only like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying I only like apples. You know what I'm saying? But you never try to orange or a peach or a plum. You feel me? It's imperative that you broaden your horizons. Um, I'm glad that we experienced, a great big city like Jersey and New York and what have you, which helps me to appreciate Rock Hill. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done seen we've seen some stuff. You feel me? But
Mm,
um, yeah, I'm glad to have my perspective on things. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to have been exposed to some things.
yeah. Favorite cereal.
Oh, favorite cereal. My favorite cereal right now is Raisin Bran Crunch. To be honest with you,
Back in the
yeah.
day, what was your favorite cereal? Or you like cornflakes? You were
Oh yeah, I love cornflakes without the sugar. I like the regular cornflakes. I like to add my own sugar.
right. For food in Jersey, like if you could, like, yeah, when you go to Jersey, what's your thing? What's the thing that you get?
Right now, I like Portuguese food. I like Portuguese. You don't get a lot of different cultures down here. You know what I'm saying? You got some, but up top, you have a vast variety of different cultures. As far as food and stuff that you can partake in. I like a good Trinidadian roti. I like Portuguese food. There's a place up top called Jimmy Buff's. They make an awesome Italian hot dog. Um, what else? I like going to Chinatown and going to their bakery, and they give you this thing called a vanilla roll. It's kind of like fluffy and buttery and delicious. You know what I'm saying? It's just yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, this podcast is about giving a person the flowers. I'm gonna say I love you, I appreciate you,
Love
you
you too,
know,
bro.
and yeah, you're my brother. I love you.
Love you too, man. Love you too, man. You know that. And
Yes.
you know, y'all get out there and vote when it's time.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, exercise your right. Keep this
Yeah.
country, from going too crazy. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's all.
It's already crazy already as it is.
You ain't lying.
Um, if for people who are listening, do you have any social media platforms? I know you have a Facebook, but do you have an Instagram or anything?
I do have Instagram, but I don't be on like that. If you want to holler at me, hit me on, Facebook, Martimer Bryant. That's me.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, brother. Love you.
Love you too, man.